Hi, hello again. A couple of years ago, for my birthday, we took a trip from Atlanta, Georgia to Destin, Florida, and of course, took my student at the time, Zorro, with us. There is no better way to boost your puppy's confidence than taking them on a road trip with you. In fact, that is a shortcut to raising the best puppy you've ever had. And it doesn't have to be a super long trip, it doesn't have to be to a great distance. Simply taking them on a road trip with you exposes them to so much new and normalizes so much of our human world for puppies that I encourage you to book a short little trip with your puppy right now. And I promise you will be amazed at the progress that they will make in such a short time. And at the end of this video, I will answer the most common questions that come up when it comes to traveling with your puppy. Even though Zorro was only 14 weeks at the time of this trip, he already had positive experience with car travel. I took short, fun trips with him and made sure that his associations with riding in the car were positive. If your puppy has hard time with motion sickness or gets too nervous being in the car, please watch my video on how to turn that around for your puppy. So you can see here that Zorro is eager to get into the car and in general excited to go and explore the earth with me. Because this is a longer trip, I'm giving him a frozen raw marrow bone right before we take off. Chewing on it will help him take his mind off of any possible car sickness and entertain him during the first couple of hours of our trip. So we are stopping here at Home Depot to let him out and to drink and to stretch his legs. Every new place you stop is just full of new smells and sights, and your puppy will accept that variety as just normal part of life and become so much more confident as a result. Notice that I packed 2 crates into my little Prius here. It's just to make our lives easier. We will keep 1 crate in the car and set 1 up in the hotel room. This way we won't need to carry the crate in and out of the hotel every time we want to go somewhere and take puppy with us. So, pro tip here for you, bring 2 crates. Zorro is still young and will sometimes hesitate to jump in and out of the car on his own, but I encourage him to come forward at least part way in preparation for the time when he can jump in and out of the car easily by himself. That's a great exercise in trust building as well. When Zorro is out, I show my happy and carefree demeanor because I know he will pick up on my mood and attitude and mimic it. And it's a great way to help him feel more confident in an entirely new to him place. And especially if your puppy is showing any signs of insecurity, you should definitely assume that happy persona and help them to overcome any type of shyness by showing them that you have nothing to worry about, and so neither should they. So pro tip number 2, have a bit of fun during your pit stops. And if there is anything your puppy is unsure about, show him that it's just not any kind of big deal. Notice that I don't use a leash here. I most definitely would if we were closer to a busy road or if Zorro was just a couple of weeks older. But at this age, 14 weeks, I know he will follow me very closely. And I have tested this with him in a safe, fenced area prior to this trip. Zorro did throw up a little bit during the first hour of the trip, so the cleaning supplies come in handy here. But this was only one time that this happened. The whole trip was about 5 hours long and he simply had no other choice but to accept riding in the car as a normal part of life, and he has not been car sick ever since. And I have to say that churches are my favorite places when traveling with puppies and dogs. Look at this beautiful church here, and there is nobody else here and lots of safe green areas with low or no dog traffic. That is important for those of us who are traveling with puppies who are not yet fully vaccinated. So, pro tip number 3, look for a beautiful church that's not busy at the moment and stop there for your puppy to stretch his legs. And of course, be a good citizen and always pick up after your puppy even if no one is watching. Especially if no one is watching. So when we arrive to our hotel, the first thing I do is set up Zorro's food to soak with water. I also add a couple of tablespoons of green tripe. Most dogs go crazy about the tripe, and it will definitely help Zorro's appetite in case his stomach is still bothering him a little bit with a bit of car sickness. I will leave the food to soak for about 20 minutes and then feed Zorro in the car to reinforce our positive associations with being in the car. In the meantime, we can go inside and check out our room. So often, elevator will present a real challenge for a puppy. They don't know how safe it is, and they cannot read that the last safety check was completed. And it's a bit unnerving to feel the floor move from under your feet, so that's understandable. But Zorro is handling the elevator exceptionally well, and we will take many elevator rides during this stay, as I will be taking him outside frequently. So if he had any reservations with riding in the elevator whatsoever, being on this trip with me would certainly help him to overcome them and normalize the elevator for him. This is a very important life skill, and some elevators are scarier than others. So after making friends with the puppy in the mirror and checking on what we can and cannot chew in the room, it's time to go downstairs and eat dinner. I'm very proud of Zorro for eating his entire meal and cleaning the dish clean. This tells me that he is not deterred by the long trip from liking being in the car. I will be feeding him in the car every time during our stay. First, to reinforce the positive associations with the car, and also to avoid bringing the food with the tripe in it up into the room. It's really smelly. Time to take a stroll to the beach. I use every opportunity to build Zorro's confidence. He was unsure about walking on this noisy metal plate, so I'm showing him that not only I'm not afraid, I'm actually having fun with it. That's the key. And I invite him to join me. And then of course we celebrate. Stairs like these are another example. I will go down a bit and coax Zorro, but I would never pull him on a leash to make him go down the stairs. Also, as soon as he starts going down, I'm right there next to him to catch him in case he starts falling. Puppies can be so clumsy at this age. And also, I control the speed with which he's going down. I definitely don't want him to hurry and jump down these stairs. If Zorro was too scared and refused to go down these stairs, I would just pick him up and carry him down. He can master these when he gets older. But Zorro is being a real champ here. The weather is not ideal, but we will make the best of it. The waves are another scary thing for puppies, so I will spend a lot of time playing with Zorro and encouraging him to get some water experience, but I'm letting him do it at his own pace and on his own terms. Only once I hold his collar very briefly so that he can experience a little bit of water around his feet and see that it's not terrible, and immediately I let go and we continue playing. No need to make a big deal out of anything. Because puppies at this age still have a fear of getting lost and are so clingy when we walk, I feel very safe to let Zorro off leash when there are no other people around. This way he gets to experience the fun that is chasing the ocean pigeons. And when he gets a little carried away, I take off and I run in the opposite direction to remind him that no matter how much fun he is having, it's his job to keep an eye on me. I am his leader and protector, after all. This is a great way to demonstrate leadership to your puppy and to teach them to be attentive to you under any circumstances. But, of course, safety first. Don't let your puppy off leash if there are other people or dogs around, or if your puppy is very frightened for some reason and might take off. Especially this is true for older puppies and adult dogs. If you don't have a 100% recall with your dog, being the first time on the beach is not the right time and place to start testing it. Someone is going to sleep very well tonight. By the way, if you have been enjoying watching Zorro to discover the ocean, please show him some love and click that like button. So the next day we go and explore a nearby nature preserve. You can see how much Zorro is clinging to me when we are walking. As I mentioned before, the fear of getting lost at this age is strong, because in the wild this would be very bad day for a puppy if they got lost away from their mother and siblings. When your puppy gets older, they will get a lot bolder when it comes to exploring on their own, and that usually starts happening at around 6 months of age. After so many new experiences and play, Zorro is very happy to snooze in the hotel room. We will leave him in a crate in the room and go and have a fancy birthday dinner for me, adult only. Now I'm going to answer the most common questions I get about traveling with a puppy. Question number 1: what to do with the puppy when we go out to eat? And you have 3 choices here. You can have the puppy wait in the car in a crate if it's not too hot, or you can leave the puppy in the hotel room in a crate, especially if you're going someplace nice. And the third option is look for those bars and patios that are dog friendly and bring him with you for a tremendous socializing opportunity. Question number 2: what if my puppy gets car sick? Please watch one of my previous videos on how to help your puppy to overcome motion sickness and learn to enjoy road trips. Also, bring a raw frozen bone for your puppy to chew. That definitely helps to keep their mind off of the movement of the car. And also keep in mind that a longer trip will often normalize car travel for your puppy and help him get over any car sickness he might have had. This happened with Zorro on this trip. He only got car sick once and that was it. After that he did great on all the consecutive car trips going forward. Question number 3: what if my puppy doesn't have all his shots yet? I recommend that you wait until your puppy has had his second shot. That is usually at about 10 to 11 weeks mark. Your puppy will get the most out of the trip at that age anyway, as opposed to a very young puppy whose learning abilities are just not quite developed yet to be able to absorb all the newness of the world around him. Also, choose safe areas for your stops during your rides. That means churches or restaurants where people don't bring dogs very often, as opposed to gas stations or those rest stops. Everyone lets their dog out at a rest stop, so it's probably not the safest environment for a puppy who has not been fully vaccinated yet. And question number 4: should I feed my puppy prior to taking our road trip? And the answer is no. You should give your puppy his favorite chew for the ride, but as far as the food is concerned, wait until you arrive to your destination and settle. Please let me know if you have taken a road trip with your puppy and how old they were and where did you go, and what challenges, if any, have you faced on that trip. Thanks for watching. Much love.